I declare this congregation to be in session. Please remain standing and join with us in singing the traditional graduation song, Gaudiamus, the words of which are printed on the screen. Please be seated. Kia ora tātou. Nā mihi, kia rātou kua ngaro i te tirohanga konohi. Haere koutou, haere o tū atu. Kia tātou te konoho, ora he huhine i raro i te maru o ruhine, tararua mauna. Tēnā koutou rangatāne ki Manawatū, ka nui mihi kia koutou. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, kia ora ana tātou, katoa. A very warm welcome to Massey University's 2017 graduation ceremonies here in Manawatū this week. This is the fifth of 6 ceremonies. I wish to acknowledge fellow members of the Massey University Council and the academic staff on stage with me today. In addition, I acknowledge the distinguished guests we have among us, the professional services staff, and members of the Campus Graduation Committee. Most importantly, I acknowledge those of you who are about to graduate and the loved ones here to support you today. My name is Michael Ahi. I am Chancellor of the Massey University Council, which means I chair the group responsible for overseeing the university's governance. It also means that as a council we have great pleasure in presiding over graduation ceremonies here in Palmerston North, in Auckland a fortnight ago, and in Wellington later this month. In the 6 graduation ceremonies this week, we have 1,129 students crossing the stage. 146 will receive master's degrees and 40 will receive doctorates. Graduation Day is a day of celebration, an opportunity for the university and you, your whānau, your friends and loved ones to recognise the hard work you have done and what you have achieved as a result. All our ceremonies are streamed live on the internet, and there is a link on the Massey University homepage. Please feel free to put the link on your Facebook page or text, tweet or email it to anyone who was unable to be here. While talking of recognition, it is important that you remember, graduates, to thank all those people who have backed you and contributed to your success during your studies, your family, your friends, and the faculty and support staff of the university. I would like graduates to join me in acknowledging them. I will ask graduates to stand, applaud those on stage, and then turn and applaud your family and friends. Graduates, please stand. Thank you. Please sit. Capping ceremonies are the highlight of the academic year at any university. As a Massey graduate myself, I distinctly recall how proud and excited I was to cross the stage right here in Palmerston North, 1 or 2 years ago now. Actually, it was a little more than a few years, and that puts me in a position, I think, to reflect on what education meant to me, how what I learnt and who I met at university shaped my life, my career, and in many ways the values I hold. Values that family and whānau are important, community is important, service is important, whether paid or unpaid, and that integrity in life is essential. New Zealand is a proud nation, and rightly so. It is recognised around the world as a beacon of good global citizenship, and Massey University is a key part of that. And we are a growing university. Our national and international student numbers are increasing. The reputation of Massey University is built on the achievements of its faculty, past and present, and also its graduates. Our broad base of qualifications caters for both the commercial and the cultural needs of students. Our research is focused on addressing issues that matter more and more as the world's population increases. Issues like energy use, climate change, food production, disease prevention, human health, animal health, and improving physical and social environments. We pride ourselves on producing people who put New Zealand on the global map for innovation, creativity, research, and teaching. As university graduates, you are essential to the future social, economic, and cultural development of your communities. You are the leaders of the future. Great leaders commit themselves to continuing education. And in my experience, great leaders also exhibit 3 characteristics. Firstly, they have great self-awareness. They know what they do well, and importantly, what they can do differently. They spend time on reflection. And they are very intentional in their actions, in their meaning, and in having balance in their lives. As I mentioned earlier, this is the 5th of 6 ceremonies, and we will have 177 students from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, the College of Creative Arts, the New Zealand School of Music, and the Centre for Professional and Continuing Education crossing the stage. Staff from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences have been prolific in publishing a range of compelling, provocative books on topics of relevance to New Zealand communities and curious minds. This has been possible thanks to the Massey University Press, launched 18 months ago. Books like the Journal of Urgent Writing are evidence of fresh energy and desire in the college to foster debates and conversations about our future and the sort of country we want all our citizens to feel part of. Authors include staff members Professor Richard Shaw, Associate Professor Kerry Taylor, Dr. Peter Meihana, and Dr. Crucial Watene. Along with Rebooting the Regions, edited by the head of the college, distinguished Professor Paul Spoonley, there were volumes on military history, edited by Dr. David Littlewood and Dr. James Watson, defence and security issues in the Tiriti o Waitangi, and I particularly enjoyed the history of Massey University by Professor Michael Belgrave. The latest round of Marsden funding grants was another indication of how the humanities and the social sciences are contributing to how we shape and understand our changing world. 5 of the 7 grants that were awarded to Massey scholars went to the college. Last August, the Centre for Defence and Security Studies hosted New Zealand's first National Security Conference. The 2-day event addressed the complex regional and national security environment and assessed opportunities for greater cooperation and coordination. And this year sees the launch of the next phase of Massey's refreshed Bachelor of Arts degree with the rollout of the second core paper, Tū Rangaranga, on global citizenship and what this means in the 21st century. The degree remains the flagship qualification of the college, and similarly, there has been an upswing in students at Massey studying languages, French, Spanish, Japanese, and Chinese. The launch of a new Chinese language research centre will see new ideas, techniques, and skills being developed. The College of Creative Arts celebrated 130 years of great design thinking last year and was ranked second in the Asia Pacific by global design organisation Red Dot, the highest ranking of any New Zealand or Australian design school. Fine arts lecturer Shannon Te Ao was the recipient of the 2016 Walters Art Prize, one of New Zealand's most prestigious prizes, and the new School of Music and Creative Media Production is well established with a thriving cohort in both commercial music and media production degrees. Congratulations to all of you who have taken up the challenge to be where you are today. You will graduate proud of your achievement and also honoured by the reputational mantle that you have inherited. My whiro, my challenge to you is to go forth as Massey alumni and make your own contribution, grow your own reputation, and in doing so, add further to the proud heritage that you are now part of. I anticipate that many of you will be back to us to keep your skills and knowledge up to date. You can be assured that Massey will be there to meet that need, whether it be through a course of full-time study or part-time through our world-class distance learning program. Finally, graduates, I would urge you, stay connected with your alma mater and your university family through our Alumni Association. Congratulations once again. Continue to work hard and take all the opportunity that awaits you. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, huri no te whare, tēnā tātou katoa. By the authority of the Council of Massey University, I, Michael Ahi, Chancellor, will now award the certificates and diplomas and confer the degrees on those to be presented and on those in absentia.
Chancellor, the Director of Teaching and Learning will present to you graduands and recipients of certificates and diplomas from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the certificate in Upper Intermediate Intensive English the candidate I am about to name, Hiwu Choi. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Foundation Certificate in Advanced Academic English the candidate I'm about to name, Jay Sada Tatnakitya Ruangku. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Foundation Certificate in Foundation Studies the candidates I am about to name, Zena Zenda Eleanor Foon. Darlene Gay Hartley. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Foundation Certificate of University Preparation the candidate I am about to name, Thomas John Warner. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Māori Visual Arts the graduands I am about to name, Luther Gypsy Kateriana Judith Ashford. Tachaliat Mahaunga, Massey Scholar, First Class Honours. Afina Mai Pukitapu. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Master of Maori Visual Arts the graduand I am about to name. Catherine Lionel Latu Cocker. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Certificate in Arts the candidate I am about to name. Bronya Ratuhi Olensky Schultz. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Diploma in Arts the candidates I'm about to name. Justine May Fisher. Kirsty Sarah O'Reilly. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Arts the graduands I am about to name. Morgan Rose Alexander, Massey Scholar. Lasita Fakava Aloa. Maria Luisa Alvarez. Cassie Marie Anderson, Massey Scholar. Hannah Rose Anderson. Jamie Stacey Archibald. Summer Victoria Arkroyd. Luke Drummond Baird. Caleb Antonia Barone. Rebecca Lauren Barrett. Hayley Marie Bartosh, Massey Scholar. Kaylee Francis Batchelor. Georgia Miguel Black. Delwyn Joy Blondell, Massey Scholar. Megan Louise Bockholt. Melissa Helen Diana Booker. Hannah Nicola Brown. Margaret Felicity Helen Bruce. Todd Douglas Buchanan. Emma Jane Campbell. Nicola Patricia Campbell, Massey Scholar. Graham George Carpenter. Benjamin Julian Glenn Charteris. Castine Masua Chimanya. Bridget Grace Dando. Hineana Grace Joan Dando. Simon Ian Dewar. Ellen Rachel Dixon, Massey Scholar. Pete Taylor Dowden. Nicola Margaret Duffin. Kirsten Lee Elmers. Nairi Louise Evertson. Samuel Jordan Ainan Nichols. Samantha Jane Fairburn. India Finch. Benjamin John Fooey. Terry Rochelle Fraser. Georgina Frew. Amber Mary Garrett. Brooke Daniela Harris. Michaela Marie Harris Townsend. Lessa Michelle Heaton. Chelsea Margaret Heppel. Leandra Renee Hodson. Sophie Louise Horgan. Michael Allen Hunter. Callum Ronald Ingram. Linnea Brittany Jeffries. Megan Elizabeth Jensen. Elise Victoria Buttonshaw. Minako Tina Kojima. Grace Ella Cromfield. Maggie Ann Kinnock. Thank you, Chancellor.
We will now proceed with the conferment of the degree of Doctor of Literature, honoris causa. Vice-Chancellor.
Chancellor, Distinguished Professor Paul Spoonley will read the citation for the award of Degree of Doctor of Literature, honoris causa.
Kia ora tata katoa, ina mana ina waka o rangatani, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. Kia ora tata katoa. It is my honour to provide the oration as Massey University awards the degree Doctor of Literature honoris causa to Robert Kinsella Workman, more widely known as Kim Workman. Kim's iwi affiliations are to Ngāti Kahungunu, ki Wairarapa and Rangatani. A whakatauki of Ngāti Kahungunu, he ringa tōhau nui, refers to sweaty hands to someone who is industrious. Kim Workman has been very industrious. He began his working life as a police officer, spending 8 years in the Youth Aid section and 4 years as the Deputy National Coordinator of Youth Aid. He then became a senior sergeant before leaving to become a senior investigating officer in the Office of the Ombudsman, and then joining the State Services Commission in the 1980s. Towards the end of his role with the State Services Commission, Kim became an advisor on one of the most important reviews of a government department, Puao Te Atatu, the Ministerial Review Committee on the Development of Biculturalism in the Department of Social Welfare. This was an important moment in the development of public sector biculturalism in this country. Kim began his academic studies as a distance student, or as it was then called, as an extramural student, at Massey University in 1976. He graduated with a diploma in police studies in 1982, which was then cross-credited to his BA. He majored in sociology and graduated with his BA in 1984. I remember him distinctly as he was one of the best students in my 300-level course on racism, bringing a wide range of experiences and interests to his study. He added to his qualifications by graduating from the Senior Executive Program at Stanford University and the School of Public Administration at the University of Southern California, where he was on a Winston Churchill Fellowship and was top of class in the program offered by the wonderfully named Delinquency Control Institute. As a member of Ngāti Kahungunu and Rangatani, Kim has had a particular interest in serving the needs of Māori. By the late 1980s, he was a district manager in the Department of Māori Affairs, followed by a stint as Deputy Secretary. Kim implemented the Maxis and Mana schemes, the first attempts by government to recognise iwi organisations and to subcontract services to them. He played a critical role in convincing head office that raukawa should be recognised in their own right rather than through the trust boards of Te Arawa, Tainui, Tauranga or Manawatū. Kim's strong advocacy set the stage for raukawa to negotiate a treaty settlement with the Crown based on recognition of their tribal autonomy. He was head of the prison service from 1989 to 1993, where he was to oversee major reforms. His career in the public service was far from over, and he became Deputy Secretary in the Ministry of Health with responsibility for Māori health, and in the early 1990s, he was the chair of the Mental Health Foundation. As his public service employment came to an end, his activism grew in significance. He became National Director of the Prison Fellowship, the first faith-based unit in the Commonwealth which offered a mentoring program for released prisoners and was a principal provider of in-prison restorative justice. In 2005, Kim was the joint recipient of the International Prize for Restorative Justice, and he was made a Companion of the Queen's Service Order in 2007. In 2006, Kim worked with Major Campbell Roberts of the Salvation Army to launch the Rethinking Crime and Punishment strategy. In 2012, he was instrumental in the establishment of the Justice Coalition, comprising 12 justice sector NGOs. He introduced Operation Jericho, a prison aftercare program, and he's been very involved in encouraging public debate about prisons and their alternatives. 2011, he established Just Speak, which seeks to involve the voice of rangatahi in criminal justice advocacy and reform. He served as a Families Commissioner from 2008 to 2011. He has also served on a number of community and iwi organisations, including the Papawai Kai Ko Kirikiri Trust and the Kawakawa Wandi 2 Trust, and he's currently writing a book titled The Criminal Justice System, the State and Māori, from 1985 to the present and beyond. I would like to quote the comments provided by my colleague, Professor Michael Belgrave, in support of this honorary award for Kim. And here I quote, "Kim maintained a civil servant's loyalty to the policy framework laid down by the governments of the day, but in the best tradition of the public service, he was prepared to fight hard to represent those worst affected by government's decisions and to ensure that, as much as possible, government had a human face and was responsive to the needs of those who often did not fit models being imposed during periods of rapid transformation. He has been a powerful and compelling public commentator on social justice issues in this country and the limitations and failings of prisons. And he has been a major contributor to the recognition and development of Māori communities and organisations. It would be remiss of me not to mention the fact that he is also a committed family man with 6 children, 10 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. Kim deserves our recognition with an honorary doctorate for his public service and his work on behalf of all of us in the cause of social justice in Aotearoa. He is te pūtiki wharanui o Kahanunu, the top knot or the pride of Kahanunu.
Chancellor, I present to you Mr. Kim Workman for the awarding of the degree of Doctor of Literature, honoris causa, at this university.
Ngā mihi tuatahi ki te mātua nui i te rangi, nāni I hanga te whenua, nāni I hanga te rangi, nāni I hanga ngā mea katoa. He honore, he kororia ki te atua, I tēnei ata. Mō tō mihi ki a hau, ki te whānau e huhui mai nei, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Chancellor of the University, Vice-Chancellor, staff, graduates, whānau, ladies and gentlemen. It is a significant honour to be part of this celebration, to acknowledge not only the achievements of graduates, but the leadership that Massey has shown over many years in shaping the hearts and minds of thousands of students. I particularly want to acknowledge distinguished Professor Paul Spoonley, who started teaching at Massey in 1979 a few years after I began as a distance learning student. Paul recently asked this question of his students: what does it mean to be a New Zealander in the 21st century? He then continued, the question is the same as in the 1970s and the 80s, but the answer is going to be different. I came to Massey in 1974, seeking the answer to that very question. As a senior sergeant of police and Māori, I found myself caught between the competing factions of the decade on such issues as race relations, the anti-war movement, Māori development, and women's rights. It was a decade of active listening, debate, reflection, and the occasional sound of a penny dropping. In 1983, I decided to take a final paper in women's studies. Along with many other New Zealand males, I had ignored the growth of the feminist movement, and in particular the efforts of women liberationists who over the previous decade had struggled to change the position of women in society. When I attended the compulsory on-campus workshop, I made two important discoveries. The first was that in a class of 68 students, I was the only male. The second discovery was that a sizable portion of the class didn't want me there and argued that I should be sent home. They needed the opportunity to talk freely with other women, to share their experiences and understand the impression in their own lives. The lecturer declined to grant me an exemption, and I stayed for the full 3 days. I made myself invisible and listened as women debated and discussed their place in society and the way in which women were routinely patronized and treated as less important than men by society, politicians, and the media. It caused me to reflect on my personal attitude toward my wife and daughters, to reflect on police reluctance to intervene in cases of domestic violence, and the lack of women in senior public management. It was quite a learning curve. At the end of the 3-day workshop, one of the more forthright woman declared that I wasn't a bad sort of a prick after all. I scored an A+ for the course and had my final essay published in a Massey Compendium of Sociological Essays. The ultimate accolade came when I was invited to speak to my essay at a women's conference organised by Broadsheet, a monthly feminist magazine. The invitation was subsequently withdrawn when it was discovered that Kim Workman was a male. But those were the times. The experience taught me two things. First, we need opportunity and space to talk within our own communities of interest, to raise consciousness and plan for challenge and change. Second, that we need to create places to listen to communities of the other in order to constantly challenge our own attitudes. So often, social policy is formed in the absence of external dialogue. No government in the last 30 years has, in developing criminal justice policy, seen fit to consult with prisoners. As a result, we have developed a criminology of the other in which offenders are stereotyped as members of a dangerous underclass. When we do engage with others from other groups, miracles occur. Last year, I took part in a series of conversations within the mongrel mob about gender awareness. A couple of months later, I witnessed a modern miracle. I was shopping at Countdown and came upon a leader of the mob pushing a shopping basket with a mokopuna in tow. Mobsters don't shop. That is for women. I couldn't resist it and said to him, "Tama, you're shopping." He replied, somewhat embarrassed, "Matua, anything women can do, men can do better." I responded, "But you're at Countdown. Your whānau usually shop at Pack and Save." He proudly produced his iPhone. But I have this app. It tells me where the bargains are. So I get the bargains at Countdown, and then I go down to Pack and Save. At that moment, the shop supervisor came rushing up. "Is everything all right, sir?" she asked. I was wearing a suit at the time. Tama and I exchanged knowing glances. "No," I replied, "it's not. My mate knows where all the bargains are and he won't tell me." At that, we both cracked up, and the supervisor hastily retreated, not understanding that we belonged to the same group. Is there a message in all this? I have no doubt that amongst the graduates, there are people who will scale Mount Everest, who have the potential to be national and international leaders and people of great influence. But we all have the capacity to lead, and if we choose to do so, there is a cost. The price of vision and a determination to pursue that vision includes humiliation, loneliness, and abuse. The reward, however, is that if you persist for long enough, you have the potential to transform. You may never see a nation fully restored, but from your own mountaintop, situated in your own community, you will have pointed the way for others. Just imagine the collective impact of each of us here today sought to change the way our community thinks and behaves. Imagine a nation in which strength is defined not simply by the capacity to engage in political and civil conflict, but by a determination to forge peace, a land in which all might can come together in a spirit of unity. It is this different, a better place that beckons us. We will find it not across distant hills or within some hidden valley, but somewhere within our own hearts. Kia ora tātou.
Thank you. Ngā mihi nui ki a koe. We will now proceed with the conferment of degrees and the awarding of university diplomas and certificates.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Arts the graduands I am about to name. Tobias James Lockhart. Jessica Elizabeth Rongomaki Lowe. Cara Michelle Lummis, Massey Scholar. Amber Mary Malone. Lincoln Timothy Marshall. Corey William McAleese. Casey Amon Lee McConnell. Lachlan James McCulloch. Luke Stewart McDowell. Chelsea Lee McMurray. Deborah Joy Middleton. Mackenzie Nicole Michaela Milne. Emma Louise Mitchell. Imbal Ugarte Morrison. Stella Jane Moen. Benjamin Wesley Newport. Katie Tessa Norman. Charlotte Rebecca Olson. Paul Kerry Honorary Paiwai. Sean David Petterson. Te Atakura MacDonald Margaret Pewhairangi. Danielle Lani Pihema. Marjolaine Charlotte Post. Tiriana Natalie Jane Portangaroa. Dominique Rose Pryor. Rihanna Ramaka. Kelsey Marissa Ramsey. Leah Winsome Roberts. Elizabeth Marie Rowland. Nicole Margaret Scott. Kate Selena Sims. Katrina Marie Smeaton. Janelle Mary Smith. Teresa Eileen Stanfish. Brittany Lynn Stanford. Taylor Jade Stewart. Martin Alafosio Stowers. Leah Priscilla Stepford. Cameron Craig Taylor. Rebecca Jane Taylor. Amanda Jade Telford. Tunane Dorothy Koteka Tetava. Emma Jane Timmins. April Joy Townsend. Helena Rose van Velthoven. Jamie Mark Wilshire. Jacqueline Winterburn. Samuel Peter Kevin Weiss. Robert Andrew Young. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Communication the graduands I am about to name. Paul Hayden Robert Kennedy. Danelle Emily Mercer. Thank you, Chancellor.
It is now my pleasure to invite Mr. Pete de Jong, partner, Baldwin and Ball Group Limited, to address the graduands. A former editor of Chaff, the student newspaper, Pete studied rugby subculture for his master's degree in sociology at Massey University. Starting out as a business writer, Pete has pursued a career advising leading business people and companies on their communications. Working across New Zealand and Southeast Asia, he has worked with many companies through times of growth, challenge and change. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pete de Jong.
Thank you, Chancellor. Congratulations, Dr. Workman. It makes me feel a little bit like a fraud being here compared to the very real things that you've achieved in your life. And kia ora tātou, thank you for the opportunity to share in your very special day. I hope this is a wonderful day for you and your friends and family. Growing up in Eltham, population 2,300, I've always thought of Palmerston North as the big smoke. One of the reasons I came to Massey in 1980 was because my parents thought there were too many drugs at Victoria University. So first year sociology became my gateway drug,
and I had a favourite well-thumbed textbook, and I thought it had a rather exciting name. It was called The Sociology of Deviance. But it turned out that I was good at the theory of deviance and not so much at the practical. I was one of those people who always felt safest in the library, surrounded by ideas and buffered away from the world by books. When I graduated, I really wanted to apply to be a journalist, but I was just too shy to face the phone interview that was required with the course convener. So what have I learnt since that very scratchy start 35 years ago? I've learnt the feeling of being the biggest idiot in the room. Let me explain. You've heard of speed dating. Well, today I'd just like to engage in a little bit of speed sociology. I'd like to go through 3 social trends that I've observed over the last 35 years and just share with you a little bit about what I've learned from each of these 3 trends. So really my first piece of advice for you today is to forget that recent Pepsi ad that was on the internet, the one with Kendall Jenner. Because the movements that matter don't spring up from large corporations or the corridors of power. Freedom doesn't come from a can of caffeinated beverage. The movements that matter come from the margins, the frayed edges, and from those with the courage to speak up over time. Ideas voiced often enough, which were once thought crazy or just plain wrong, can make their way from the margins to the mainstream. Look back on the time when Honeheke chopped down that flagpole in 1844. And then when Dame Whina Cooper took her hikoi to Parliament in 1975. There was another long 20 years after that of litigation and argument when Māori voices were coalescing. Concrete change began to happen when the Bolger government began settling the long-standing iwi land claims. I can remember listening to the radio in the mid-1990s. The talkback radio crackled with horror stories of Māori families turning up on people's doorsteps to claim back their land. People said the Prime Minister was a bloody idiot for listening to the Maoris and wanting to settle the land claims. There's still a heck of a long way to go, but today, smart, long-term thinking by iwi owners means that some of New Zealand's most precious land and resources and the most dynamic businesses are in Māori hands. And today I work with one of those iwi enterprises, and I can tell you that working in a different culture is a great way to feel like the biggest idiot in the room all over again. The iwi that I work with subject themselves to robust debate. Everything's up for discussion. There's engagement and agency that local government could only dream of. Navigating through that constant debate has taught me that using my voice is the first step to not feeling like the biggest idiot in the room. That an idea in the dark is not an idea until it's out there. The second trend I would like to explore today is that it's not just individuals or iwi who can find their unique voice, whole countries can as well. Back in the 1980s, every would-be writer wanted to head to London and try to make it on the world stage, or at least starve trying. But now, the world is looking our way. Longer and cheaper flights, coupled with our image of safety, and a cake iced by the imagination of our artists, like Eleanor Catton, Peter Jackson and Lord, mean that suddenly everyone wants in. All over the world, filmgoers went to see Hunt for the Wilder People because of all the great New Zealandisms in it, not in spite of them. Just a few years ago, I was at this exclusive dinner party in Singapore. A very well-to-do English woman was holding forth at the dinner party. She must have noticed that my wife and I, mere Kiwis, were feeling a little bit left out, and she turned to us rather portentously and she drew us into the conversation. She turned to me and said, "And what has New Zealand ever given the world?" To which my wife Melanie shot back without a second's hesitation, "A place to dream about when the rest of the world has turned to shit." So that's as good a definition as I can think of, and it's something for you to work with as you set about making your mark on the world. So now I'd like to turn to my third trend. For my second year of university, I was a reluctant reader of a book called Tess of the D'Urbervilles. It was for a course called The English Novel Since 1850. As I read of Tess's troubles, I wondered what it would be like to live through the Industrial Revolution. And I guess we've all got the answer to that now, because the consultants McKinsey have worked out that the pace of change from our digital revolution is happening 10 times faster and at 300 times the geographic scale of the Industrial Revolution. 10 times faster and 300 times the scale. This means 3,000 times the impact of the Industrial Revolution. So this technology-driven change is a huge challenge for the communications consultancy where I work. It turns out that yesterday's deviants are tomorrow's business disruptors. So we love people who turn up ready to voice a big idea. No one can predict what's coming next, but experience has taught me that the liberal arts best equip us for this new world. So to wrap up, I'd like to congratulate you for engaging with many great new ideas at Massey University over these last few years, and I want to really wish you all the best for the future. Today, more than ever, we must use our voices with care and thoughtfulness. We must use them to create the world we want. It's okay to discover who you are through wild ideas, imitation, and bitter failure, as long as you get to know yourself better as you go. Remember this ceremony today, the victory you've gained. Remember it with pride, even if failure has been a dreadful nag. Possibilities will emerge, often where you least expect them. Forget what the employers say. No one has the thing that's you. I tried so hard to be someone else for 20 years, and I'm still the shy kid from Taranaki with a sociology degree. But these days, I know to speak up, and I no longer feel like the biggest idiot in the room. Thank you.
Kia ora, Pete. I think that dinner table retort will be well remembered by everyone in the room. We'll now continue to proceed with the conferment of degrees and the awarding of university diplomas and certificates.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Resource and Environmental Planning the graduates I am about to name. James Angus Adamson. Marzuk Mufid Ali Asgar. Gemma Nicole Brennan. Harrison James Dermot Bernard. Kate Marcella Shivers. Lauren Ellen Ford. Rebecca Faye Hare. Morgan Ashley Leard. Alana Rinaha Maku. Ryan James McAllister. Megan Rosalie Nuns. Kerry Louise Wynne, Massey Scholar, First Class Honours. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Graduate Diploma in Arts the candidates I am about to name. Jonathan Tanumafili Allen. Carolyn Robbins. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Postgraduate Diploma in Arts the candidates I am about to name. Emma Margaret Lowe. Jennifer Louise Nichols. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Postgraduate Diploma in Applied Linguistics the candidate I am about to name. Sandra Po Tin Lim McIver. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Postgraduate Diploma in International Development the candidates I am about to name. Han Tan Bui, with distinction. Tracy Melissa Kaga de Sena, with distinction. Eureka Arianti Parmanasari, with distinction. Nindita Probboredno. Suliasi Vinenbola, with distinction. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Postgraduate Diploma in Museum Studies the candidates I am about to name. Amy Karen McCauley. Sarah Rhea Morgan, with distinction. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the Postgraduate Diploma in Social Sector Evaluation Research the candidate I am about to name, Andrew David Moore. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Bachelor of Arts with honours. My apologies, we're moving on from here. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Master of Arts the graduands I am about to name. Timothy Carl Jurgens. Patrick Jared McCabe, with distinction. Olivia Catherine Mackenzie. Joshua Samuel Hamilton Reed. Catherine Jan Rivera Puddle, with distinction. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Master of Applied Linguistics the graduands I am about to name. Suzanne Thelma Aldrich, with distinction. Hannah Lena Catherine Brookie, with distinction. Brendan Maurice Chappell, with distinction. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Master of Clinical Psychology the graduands I am about to name. Nicholas John Cato. Rebecca Jane Ratledge. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Master of International Security the graduands I am about to name. Gerard John Julian Curry with distinction. Christopher Major Kelly with distinction. Hamish Murray Lawrenson Cook. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Master of Resource and Environmental Planning the graduands I am about to name. Catherine Angita Buick. Nicola Faye Petrie. Elizabeth Jane Simpson. Chancellor, I have the honour to present the postgraduate diploma in psychological practice, the candidate I am about to name, Joanna Mary Therese Taylor. Chancellor, the degrees are also conferred and the certificates and diplomas are also awarded to those who are in absentia. Thank you, Chancellor.
Chancellor, a doctorate, either a PhD or a professionally named doctorate, is the highest research degree awarded by the university. The successful completion of a doctorate represents a significant achievement. Through the submission of a sustained piece of research, expressed in the production of a written thesis of no more than 100,000 words, or a creative work of equivalent size and scope, or via a series of publications, candidates are expected to make an original contribution to knowledge in a specific field of study. Candidates typically spend 3 to 4 years of full-time research solving a problem or addressing a particular set of questions. An international panel of experts then examines the resulting body of work through both written and oral examination. Doctoral research is challenging and represents a huge commitment to advancing research and scholarship. We honour the achievements of our doctoral graduands by inviting them to come onto the stage at the end of the ceremony, thereby formally welcoming them into the academic and scholarly community and acknowledging their entitlement to be called Doctor. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for graduation in the degree of Doctor of Literature the graduand I'm about to name. Michael Matthew Roach. Chancellor, the awarding of the degree of Doctor of Literature is a rare and very special event. It is awarded on the basis of what is often a lifetime of work. The awarding of a D.Lit to Professor Michael Roach is exactly that, an award recognising the fruits of over 30 years of academic work covering a significant range of intellectual endeavour, much of it independent but also carried out in collaboration with international experts. This research has been based predominantly on the study of historical and contemporary forestry and agricultural practices in New Zealand. Separately, it also examines geographical thought, mapping the development of university geography in New Zealand since the 1930s. Chancellor, Professor Michael Matthew Roach, Doctor of Literature. Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the graduation in the degree of Doctor of Philosophy the graduands I am about to name. Ross MacDonald Cassels. Chancellor, since independence in 1978, the Westminster-based Constitution of Solomon Islands has been criticised as inappropriate. Mr. Cassels' research examined the hybrid form of governance that exists in a village on Choiseul and demonstrates that hybrid political entities such as these could provide a form of governance within a proposed federal constitution that is more suited to local conditions than the current constitution allows. Chancellor, Dr. Ross MacDonald Cassels. Muhammad Baba Chauhan. Mr. Chauhan investigated how arguments for economic growth are perceived and advanced to promote road investment. By examining policy direction, the associated processes and discursive pragmatism in two roading projects, he concluded that economic growth is a niche created, advanced and interpreted by powerful actors to achieve their strategic objectives. Chancellor, Dr. Muhammad Baba Chauhan. Emma Louise Hughes. Chancellor, the private sector is increasingly seen as important for local development. Ms. Hughes' research with 2 Indigenous communities in Fiji showed that in the tourism sector, much hotel-led development was charity-focused. Whilst tourism was welcomed, communities did not want more charity or aid, instead prioritising reciprocity, collective rights and access to a fair share of community resources. Chancellor, Dr. Emma Louise Hughes. Dora Dao Quirius. Papua New Guinea's high revenue from mineral resources is seen as a contributing factor to inequalities in mining communities. Ms. Quirius developed an Indigenous Melanesian-centric framework to create a greater understanding of how the building of resilience in mine-impacted communities can be strengthened through improved access to health services. Her findings concluded that building community resilience can achieve sustainable communities in all stages of mining, including post-mine closure. Chancellor, Dr. Dora Dao Quirius. Heather Christine Nuns. Ms. Nuns examined the proposition that evaluative reasoning, the reasoning process underpinning evaluation, is a lens to consider improvement of the quality of evaluation undertaken or commissioned by the Aotearoa New Zealand public sector. Her findings provide theoretical insights and guidance for practice on how evaluative reasoning can be strengthened in the public sector context. Chancellor, Dr. Heather Christine Nuns. Dean Charles Strong. The role of invasive species on Pacific livelihoods has received little attention. Mr. Strong explored the influence on the little fire ant and giant African snail had on rural livelihoods in the Solomon Islands. He found that invasive species were a significant missing component in Solomon Island development policy. Chancellor, Dr. Dean Charles Strong. Dorcas Stella Cici Schumimba. Ms. Schumba critically considered the experiences and perceptions of Zimbabwean rural men and women to environmental change, to ascertain gendered impacts and differential vulnerabilities. Making allowances for Zimbabwe's context of crisis, she found that both rural men and women to be vulnerable, albeit in ways that differed qualitatively and quantitatively. Chancellor, Dr. Dorcas Stella Cici Schumba. Thank you, Chancellor. Would all our graduates please stand once more? It is my great honour to welcome you as alumni of Massey University. The award of a university degree carries many privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. I charge you as graduates of Massey University to use what you have learned for your own betterment and for the benefit of your communities. I charge you to use the skills and knowledge you have acquired with rigour and integrity, and to commit yourself to a program of lifelong learning and discovery. I charge you to remember the lessons Massey University has taught you about the worth of others, particularly those who've not had the opportunities that you have had. I charge you to set goals and to continue the hard work that has brought you so far. And in all that you do, I charge you to be deserving of the good name of Massey University. Please be seated.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. At the conclusion of this ceremony, guests are requested to remain in their seats until the processions have assembled in Broadway Avenue. Please then join our celebratory procession to the square, where we hope you will mix and mingle with staff, with family and friends who have all been part of your graduates' successful journey. I declare this congregation to be adjourned. Please join with us in singing the national anthem, God Defend New Zealand, led by Andrew Jameson, the words of which are printed on the screen. E tu, please stand.
Matua o ngā iwi mātura ata whakarongo nā me aroha noa ki ahua ko te pai ki a tauto mana a ki ti a mai